Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is the lightwork reading for the sign of Aries. Now, just to explain how this will go, I'll be using the Work Your Light Oracle deck to show you a bit of information in regards to your soul journey, where it is that your spirit is guiding you towards what kind of work. And I really love this deck particularly because not only is it very beautiful, the colours are amazing, and so is the artwork and the design. But it really does get to the heart of what's going to be resonating with you on a deep, profound level. So I really like it for this kind of work. So I'll be using those to begin with, and then we'll move into the tarot to clarify. So just to explain, depending on where you're reading this from, it's going to resonate with you on a different level. So if you're reading in your sun sign, then this will really resonate with you on quite a deep spiritual level. So you'll feel that on a soul level, right? If you're reading from your moon sign, then it will resonate in terms of your beliefs, your principles, the things that you're likely to support, and the kind of energies that you want to align with. And then if you are reading from your rising sign, this is really going to serve as inspiration to you on your own individual path. So not necessarily the path that you'll be taking, but you will take aspects of this as inspiration for things that you will aspire to have in your life in some way. Okay, so just to explain that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the first card using the Work Your Light Oracle deck. So initially I just want to see what it is that you're coming from, what it is that you just left behind or are leaving behind you now, in regards to what isn't serving you or what you need to be more aligned to in regards to your path. So what is it that the sign of Aries is walking away from in order to embody what their soul is calling them to do? Okay. So you got birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Okay, so this is very much out with the old, in with the new kind of energy. So I feel like you're already recognizing that there's certain aspects of your current reality that isn't serving you and isn't going to serve the reality that you're trying to manifest, at least in your immediate reality, if not partially, into the collective conscious reality also. But I'm going to go to the booklet just to give you a bit more background as to what that card represents from the creator of it. So often our path is exactly the one that we don't feel prepared to walk. Walk it anyway. Often what is rising feels far bigger than we could possibly hold. Be a container for it anyway. Often our creations seem to have a wild, uncontrollable consciousness of their own. Birth them anyway. Often what is ours to do is the very thing that most intimidates us. Be courageous and do it anyway. We are birthing a new age. Right now we're in a transition period between ages, in the process of allowing the old cycle to fall away and the new to rise. Like driving in the fog and trusting the road will appear ahead, we need to release old identities and ways that no longer serve us, using our intuition as a compass. You are part of a group of souls who have been incarnating at significant periods of history, preparing for this exact time, dreaming a new world into being. Magdalene sisters, daughters of Isis, Essenes, priestesses, witches, mystics, healers, seers, artists, midwives, visionaries, guardians of the earth, storytellers from times past. It is a time to give permission and space for what is becoming or beckoning within to be born. We are dreaming a new world into being, okay? So it's saying that you are a catalyst in this birthing of a new era, okay? So I feel like the reason why it's in this position It's because what you're being called to do terrifies you, right? You know that you have to play an active role in it. You can't be, a passive, bystander. I mean, none of us can really. We all have to play our role, but everyone's role is different. And for you guys, Aries, being a fire sign and having this incredible drive that you have with your goals and your focus, it makes sense that you would be called to, spearhead this movement in some way. Okay, so you're going to play a significant role in manifesting this new reality. Whether you're ready for it or not, you have to just, go forward and trust that everything will be okay in the end, all right? So let's get some more clarity. So let's look at the next let's go to the next card now. And this is in relation to what your soul is calling you to do. So this is what your own spirit is guiding you towards now, okay? Because you know now that you're having to leave behind the old ways, those things that no longer serve where we're heading. So now it's important to know what it is exactly that you're being called to do. Okay. So you have leap. You go first, the universe will catch you. It's interesting that you got that here. Okay, so I'll read from the booklet again, because I know that's kind of vague, especially in that position. But it really flicked up, so it's obviously relevant to this, birthing of a new era card that I pulled for you. So yeah, life bends for the courageous. The universe wants to support you, but first you need to leap, to throw your life up in the air. Perhaps you know what you are being called to leap toward or away from, but you are scared to make the move. Or perhaps you are waiting for a big fat sign or instruction manual or permission to do it first. If this is you, then this card is your sign and permission. If this is you, then this card is your sign and permission slip to take a deep breath and leap into the unknown. It's scary to let go of all that we know and hope for something new. And it's normal to feel anxious at the thought of letting go of what we know for sure. But this is the unavoidable process of rising. And right now, this is how you are being called to live. Nature is constantly showing us how to live with courage. Fall comes every year and encourages the trees to loosen their grip, to allow what was once so full of life to fall away leaf by leaf. For a moment, it feels like nothing will grow again. The branches are left bare without the comfort of what once was. But in the morning of spring, new shoots begin to appear and something new is born that is even more glorious than before. Okay, so this is essentially a leap of faith that it's asking for. That perhaps you already are aware on some level what it is you're being drawn towards, you're gravitating towards. But it is scary because you feel like it's such a huge step in your life. It could require a lot of time on your part. It may require changing your lifestyle quite dramatically. It might require doing a lot of research, investment, using the resources or connections you have. It may involve spending less time with certain people in order to do this work, but regardless, you're being guided towards it. You have to do this now. I feel like for whatever reason you may have been putting this off because of your fears, but now's the time to really step into that role because your work is needed, your vision is needed, right? So that's what it's telling you. I feel like this is more geared around being a visionary of some sort. That's what comes to mind when I'm looking at these cards. You have the vision, and it's just a case of implementing it, acting on it, finding a way to make it manifest, because the world needs your vision right now. So you may invent something or create something that's completely new, or go about things in a completely new way, right? You have a different take on how to do something better, right? And whatever it is that you've been toying with the idea of, now is the time to look at how you can make that real, okay? So that's really interesting. I love that you got that. That's real, like a kind of entrepreneurship energy, you know, like I feel like for a lot of you it will be like a business concept, it will be a business idea. So you may find that you're going to start a new company, you know, or go into partnership. So that's really interesting. But now I just want to say, I've already got the first card for you. I was just going through, flicking through, and already it just flew up. So now what I'm going to do is pull from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and then this will give me an indication of, you know, what it is that you're leaving in the recent past, where you're at now, and where you're headed in the near future in regards to this path that you're being guided towards, okay? So in the recent past, you've got the Three of Wands. So that tells me that, you know, you've already conceived an idea in your mind, right? In your mind's eye. You already have a vision in mind that you want to implement, but you just have to find a way to make it manifest and not allow your fears to prevent you from doing that. Because you're really being called to step into that role of the inventor, you know? So yeah, I'm not surprised that that came up because it's so relevant to the advice you're receiving. So what is it that what is the situation you're currently in now in regards to this? Because I feel like a lot of you are creators, you have a creative mind, but you can also see things quite logically, you know how to approach things in a logical manner so it comes to light. So it's really asking you to you know, use those skills to your advantage so you can make this idea that you have a reality. Okay, so you've got the Wheel of Fortune. So right now you're weighing up your options. It may be that you've had a business opportunity come up already. It may be that you have people that are interested in your idea and want to support you, and you're having to assess who's going to be best for that. It could be that you're going into business with friends, family, or someone that you already know and are acquainted with. For some of you, I feel like you're weighing up how to best make this a reality, you know, how to begin the work, you know, the research and getting the funding and all the rest of it. And you're just trying to find the best way to do that. But either way, I feel like you are going to be supported in that by just starting the process and weighing up your options and seeing what could be the best way to approach it, you're going to be supported while you do that work. Okay, so it's important that you don't second guess yourself. That's the King of Wands in reverse, by the way. Because you are being called to do this. You are fit for the job. You're capable, right? You are capable. So you need to not second guess whether or not it's something you can do, or allow your fear to prevent you from taking action. Because you have the skills. You know, even if you're doing something completely new, maybe you've never been in an entrepreneurship position before, or maybe you've never worked with a partner, or whatever it is, or you've never pitched an idea before to a panel. You're being supported in that. You have the skills to do it and you're being supported. So there's nothing to fear, really, you know. It's okay to be a little bit nervous and excited, that's good. It's always like that, but just don't allow your fear of, you know, the grandeur of this particular idea, or the potential grandeur of this idea, to stop you from acting. Okay. So where are you headed in your near future? What's coming up for you, Aries, in relation to this project or business or concept that you're coming up with? Okay, so you've got the Eight of Wands in reverse. So I feel like there's going to be more, as I said, there's more than one way to approach anything, right? but you really have to find the best fit for your vision, and don't allow anything to kind of reduce its scale in any way. You know what I mean? Like, don't allow anything to like impede on your vision in any way, whether it's like how much you sell it for, like the idea, who you have on board, how much of a cut that you offer up is, you know, if they're asking for much more than you're willing to give, don't give so much. Things like that, right? The logistics side of it, I feel like there may be those that will try and take advantage of your vision and, you know, try and just get a slice of the pie, and just be really discerning, you know, how you go about it, because it is a great idea that you have. It has the potential to do extremely well. You know, it's a very well thought out vision, so it's important that you don't sell yourself short, right? Because there are those who will also try and undermine your work. There may be competitors that will be watching. So it's really important that you're very discerning as to who you involve in this project, who you tell about the project, who funds it, who you partner with. All of those aspects you need to carefully consider, because there will be those spying on you with envious eyes. You know? But even though you will face difficulties, you will overcome them. Whatever logistical issues you've had in the past with this project, you will find a way to overcome that. So it's very positive. It's just you have to be, you know, very smart about how you approach this. But you're being, like I said, you're being supported in this work, so it will turn out for the best as long as you heed the right advice, right? Good advice. You take the good advice that comes your way and use your discernment and intuition to know when someone's giving you bad advice, okay? So let's have a look then in terms of the message we have to help you unify the two aspects of self, right? And what I mean by that is, as you know, we have a light and shadow aspect, right? But people often assume that because they seem so because they seem like they're contrasting each other so dramatically, that they must be two opposing forces. But what I've come to understand is that's not the case at all. They're actually two poles on the same scale, right? So if you can find an equilibrium between the two forces and really discover how to harmonize them, then you'll actually be operating from your highest aspect. You'll be operating from the highest self that resides within the 5D, right? So that's what you want to do, especially when you're trying to bring this incredible vision to light. You want to be operating from that higher level. So this is your message in regards to how you can unify the two forces within yourself, right? So how can Aries do that? Whoa, flying. So you got the Temperance card, okay? Balance. Balance your energies, right? Know when to stop, when to start. When to move fast, when to move slow. Patience, right? I feel like, yeah, that it's really more than like just simply waiting. I feel like you have to play the balancing act. You have to know when to put your foot on the throttle and when to, you know, hit the brake. Because especially with Aries energy, like it's so tempting to just go, 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 you know. You just want everything done immediately. Every Aries that's been in my life, I mean, I'm surrounded by Aries energy for some reason, generally. But every Aries I've had close to me in my life, particularly family members, they always have this go, go, go mentality. And, you know, that's great in various aspects, but in others you really need to know when to slow down, because otherwise you just burn yourself out and then you can't give your best anymore, right? So it's about finding that level of moderation, because Otherwise, if you go too slow, then nothing will happen and you'll just feel lethargic and kind of lost. But if you move too quickly on things that really need some time and careful consideration, you're going to feel like you're losing control and sight of what you were trying to do in the first place, and you'll just burn yourself out. So you really have to find that sweet spot between the two, and it always takes time. Sometimes you're going to be leaning more one way or the other. That's normal, but you just have to be mindful of that so you can really balance yourself out and find that perfect spot to be operating from. Okay. Where's everything flying out for you, Aries? So let's have a look for the message in terms of how to unify with others, right? So how to connect with others, to bring them on board with your project, to get people excited and interested and on the same wavelength as you in regards to this this concept. Whatever it is, whether it's a business, like a project, a concept, whatever it is, how do you get others involved in that? So you got the Hierophant in reverse, right? So by educating yourself on all aspects of your vision, of your business idea, of your proposal, you will then be able to share that information with others at the right time so that they're fully aware of what it entails, how it can change life for those who it applies to, if not the broader spectrum, and then just really spend time communicating that idea to various different communities, groups of people on different levels, right? So I feel like it may involve some public speaking, pitching, going to events, networking, that sort of thing, but you really need to get clued up on all aspects of your business and concept first. So that's what it's asking you to do, that before you take that step, really hone in on your knowledge, right? And make sure you have any question that anyone could throw at you to try and throw you off center. Make sure you already have an answer for that, right? Anything they could possibly throw at you to try and trip you up, you've already got that down, okay? And that will really solidify your position in their mind as to, okay, this person's really thought this out. They know what they're talking about. They know how it can change things for the better in this way, right? So that's what you need to do before you communicate your ideas to a larger audience, okay? So what is the overall energy for this reading? That's what I want to know now for Aries, because this is great. Like, I love this it's like a real, almost like entrepreneurial kind of vibe to it, I feel. Or at least it's like you're pitching an idea that will really change the way we do things, right? Something along those lines. Like an innovator type energy. Yeah, you got the Mother of Wands in reverse. This has come up so much in these readings, it's crazy. And in the shadow ones, like shadow work tarot. It's unbelievable how often this card has come up, but it's obviously relevant to everyone on different levels. So yeah, you have it's essentially the Queen of Wands in reverse. So what it's saying is that right now is your time to really go inward and educate yourself. Get all the information you need and assess how you can approach this in a way that's going to really reach people, because you want to reach people in a way that makes them feel inspired, excited, makes them feel like, wow, like this is the perfect solution. This could actually work. This could fix this and this, right? So you really need to embody that energy yourself. You need to get excited about the concept. You need to be knowledgeable in the concept. You have to really demonstrate how it can change lives, right? So I feel like you need to take the time to do your research, really plan out how you want to approach it, find your unique sales points and, how it would benefit those who would use it, right? Or who would access it in some way. The consumer, I guess, if from a very marketing kind of perspective, but just the people that are going to be coming into contact with your idea or your project. How is it going to benefit them? So really think about that. Take the time to explore the benefits, and don't be afraid to test them out. Do trial and errors. Way of assessing things, and then you can see how effective it works. If it doesn't work, go back to the drawing board. Right? You have the time. So it's important that you use it wisely so that you can make sure that your idea is solid before you bring it, as I said, to a larger audience. But it's great. I feel like you're really going to produce something quite special. So don't allow your fears to, stop you from moving forward, because it's important that you do now. I feel like you've been selling it for a while, or you've been questioning whether or not you are capable of making it happen. But you're being told to go ahead, right? You're being told to move forward, that the universe has your back. It says it here, go first, the universe will catch you, right? So you have to take a leap of faith with it. It might be a bit scary, it might involve a lot more than you would normally offer up initially in different ways, or it might make you feel very vulnerable in just the fact that you're putting yourself out there. But the universe has got your back. It's okay. Just take the leap of faith, do the work, heed the warnings, take the advice, and all will be well in the end. So I'm just going to clarify these cards then, so we can get a bit more insight, because I like to do detailed readings when it comes to light and shadow work. I think it's really important. Obviously general readings will be much shorter, so if you find this a bit too long, sorry about that. I just think it's essential that you have as much information in regards to this so you can see how it really applies to your circumstances, if it does resonate, of course, because this will resonate with some more than others. So let's just clarify this Three of Wands then. Okay, so you've got the Ten of Cups in reverse. So I feel like this idea that you have will really bring not just functionality to people's lives, but I think it will create emotional fulfillment in ways that people have been lacking thus far, right? And just now, you've got the Page of Swords and the World card pop up in the upright as well. So I feel that's exactly what I'm talking about right now. It's going to reach a lot of people all around the world. It's going to change how they do things. It's going to really impact their lives in quite a profound way, potentially. I feel like, as I said, that it's not just a case of it's going to function well and it's going to be well designed, but it's also going to bring that joy and that fulfillment and that emotional abundance that they've thus far been lacking in that industry or within a certain aspect of day-to-day life or health or whatever it is, whatever direction you're moving in. So that's awesome. So let's have a look at the Wheel of Fortune then, where you're currently at now. And I feel like also this is going to bring you a lot of fulfillment, because I feel like at this point in time you haven't really felt that for quite a long time. So just to clarify the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, you've got the Four of Cups in reverse. So currently I think you're not feeling at your best because of this feeling of being lost. You need to have all of your, all aspects of your lifestyle working in harmony. I feel like right now you're not, because this, you have a vision but it's not being executed. Seven of Cups, wish fulfillment, right? Your true wishes, your desires, your ambitions, the things that will bring real joy into your heart, right? Your true wishes are not being fulfilled. So that's what's leaving you feeling somewhat lacking, because it's not that other aspects of your life are bad. It's, you know, there's probably several things that are very good in your life right now, but you've not been feeling at the best because of this absence of purpose, right? Absence of focus. So this is really important, why you take action now and make the decision to move forward, because that will give you the fulfillment that you've been looking for. So let's just clarify the Eight of Wands in reverse. I do feel like that's very much in relation to outside influences, but it's always good to get more information. Okay. So you have the Nine of Swords in reverse. So yeah, I think there's going to be some people that will have you second guessing about your idea or whether or not you can do it. So that's why it's really important that you listen to your intuition and you only align yourself with those who want to see you succeed and good advice, right? Because there will be some snakes in the grass that you have to contend with. I'm not going to lie to you. I do feel that. I felt that straight away when I pulled the Eight of Wands in reverse. So you have to be very discerning, as I said, you know, razor sharp intuition, just like those swords, okay? Because it will leave you worrying and second guessing and, you know, feeling just like defeated. And it's not necessary, because there will be an opportunity for you to make it come to light. It's just you have to be very discerning with how you approach that and who you have on board, etc. So yeah, nothing negative, it's just something to be aware of. So let's clarify the Temperance card. Okay. And you have the Knight of Cups in reverse. So yeah, I think it's being balanced, you know, finding that's like I said, that sweet spot, knowing when to move forward and when to hit the gas. I think you can't allow your emotions to dictate too much on how you approach that, because I think that you'll have this temptation to move full steam ahead because you know it makes you feel more aligned with how you wish to feel emotionally, right? Because it does give you that satisfaction when you're working on it. It's easy to get caught up on the end goal rather than, you know, enjoying the process, which is something a lot of us do actually. So it's really focused that it's really important that you focus on, you know, the journey itself towards this goal, because there's going to be many things that you accomplish. There'll be all sorts of positive experiences while you're on this journey, but you'll only really appreciate that if you take the time to appreciate each stage, right? So it's important that you do that. You know, practice gratitude at every step and the universe will have your back. Yeah, Page of Wands, you know. Go into this with someone with fresh eyes and, you know, a really full heart, and yeah, you'll be supported throughout the process, okay? So let's have a look at the Hierophant in reverse then. So I really feel like this is about like doing the work and obtaining the knowledge on all aspects of this vision that you have, so that you are in a position to then share that information with others when the time is right. So let's get some more information about that. Okay, and you have the Magician in reverse. So yeah, I mean, the only way you can manifest this reality is by having, you know, as much knowledge as possible on the subject matter, okay? So before you begin to take action, you have to really research, okay? Take as long as it needs to get your information, to get the research, you know, market research. speak to those who are in a position where they can offer you sound advice, right? Don't speak to your family members about it if they're not relevant. Like, not relevant, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, if their line of work or their interests isn't relevant to what you're doing, right? Because they will necessarily not give you the best advice. And that kind of falls into here, you know. That some of them may say, like, oh, why are you doing this? You should be doing this, and that's not going to help you, right? So just take advice from people who know what they're talking about, and, you know, really take the time to be as informative on the subject as you can, because you're kind of being put into a position where you're going to be a market leader, right? So you have to put yourself in that position also. You have to have the knowledge to back that up, right? So that's what it's calling you to do, to have the knowledge so that you then can act from a place of knowing rather than just winging it and hoping for the best, right? So do your research, do some testing, try it out. Get maybe, like, when you're at the point where you're ready to, like, pitch it, maybe, you know, do a little questionnaire, you know, maybe get people to try whatever it is, get their feedback so you can tweak it before you pitch it or you speak on the subject. Whatever it is, right? Do your research thoroughly before you then try to put it out into the market, okay? And then the Mother of Wands in reverse, which is the Queen of Wands. Let's clarify that for you. What did that one do? Okay, so, oh gosh. Right, you have the King of Wands in reverse. So yeah, I mean, I feel like that what you create will put you in a position as a market leader, but you're coming from a space of service rather than trying to have, like, power or like a, you know, like a monopoly over a market, right? Because obviously, you know, it's not how it's supposed to work. What you're trying to do is just better the lives of those who will benefit from it, okay? So you'll be coming from a place of service rather than, you know, making people feel like they should be grateful for your existence, okay? Like, I know that sounds weird, but there are plenty of market leaders that do kind of behave like that, but you won't. You'll be coming from a place of service where you're constantly thinking about those who are using the product or using your service or that are aligning with this idea that you have. So you're constantly thinking about ways in which you can make it better and how you can improve lives, things like that. And that's what will gain you this position of being, you know, the new thinking market leader, right? Because you're going to be the living example that it can be done in a better way. So that's really powerful. Okay, I think that's all I need to really say on the subject. I think you know where you're going, you know what to do, you know what needs to be done. So now it's just over to you, right? To do the research, get your plan mapped out, and, you know, go ahead with that. So what an amazing read for you, Aries. I'm really, really quite happy for you. So congratulations on this vision that you've had and really just getting that gusto to really move on it. You'll be fine, you're being supported, you know, you'll be doing great work. So yeah, I mean, if this resonates with you, do let me know in the comments. Don't say too much about what you're going to do because you need to keep that close to the chest right now, but just let me know if this does resonate and I'll be cheering you on from the sidelines, okay? So thank you so much for watching this video. And yeah, do give it a like if you did enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications bell. And I will be reading for you again very soon. So take care, Aries.